Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome to episode 6 and round 2 of the Paul Hunter Classic, of course a ranking event. Again, like the first round, this is a best of 5 frames match, and today we are playing Wan Sijun. Is it Wan Sijun? I'm not quite sure on his name, so apologies if that's the wrong pronunciation, but a little bit more of a test than the game against David Lilly last time, ranked 126th. We did beat him 3-2, very nearly beat him 3-0, but missing the blue on the third frame was crucial as he cleaned the balls up and then won the next frame, got a bit of momentum and took it, of course, to a decider. So I'd recommend you go and watch that one. It was a really fantastic, exciting match. And hopefully, whilst I hope this is exciting, I certainly hope it's not as gruelling as the last game and full of pressure and hair-tearing moments, if you like. But the second round, again, Wan Sijun, again, it's clear that his ranking shows as a half-decent player, and if you saw the last episode, it's clear we have to improve from that match. Even though we did scrape through it, sometimes you just get a little bit of luck, and this time we need to play snooker that's a little bit better. Now, no pressure on me here, but I would quite like to make my first 50 break of snooker 19. I mean, look at who's there. There's about 10 or 20 in the crowd. So not well attended at all, but of course now we are down to the last 64. And as this is an event that's not seeded at all, so you could draw against literally anyone. There is a chance if we win this that at worst we could play against a top 8 or top 16 player. But it's Wan Sijun to break. Should be quite interesting to see who gets into the later rounds of this event, and to see who we might play in the last 32 if we get there. But of course, as the rounds go on, the competition gets more fierce, and it's a tournament you don't need to qualify for. So it's one of those that really you could take on anyone, you know, however good or bad they are. I mean, nobody on the tour is terrible. I'm not saying that at all, but there's a chance you can take on David Lilly as we did there. But you could also take on Ronnie O'Sullivan in the first round, because as I said, I don't believe there's any seeding or ranking system associated with the group, so there could quite literally be, in a round robin of 16, there could be the top 16 if that happens. But we've left a long pot on that red, and oh, he's just missed it. That's a bit unfortunate for him there. But doesn't provide any position for us on that red, but there is nice position on this red, so we're going to try and not get any screw back, actually just play this nice and soft, and then hopefully get position on the black. Good pot. Again, been watching some of the World Snooker Championship this morning. Started today, so you'll get a good hint of when this is being recorded. But I am really enjoying it. I've only watched the first session. The second session is happening now. Funnily enough, Robertson is playing in that session against Michael Georgiou. But I've decided not to watch that one. Thought I'd get a video done instead. Now, there's no way this ball goes through, so it's going to have to be a fine cut on this one here. It's a little bit of a tricky shot. But let's see how we get on. That's in. Good shot. Now, unfortunately, it was a little bit harder, so not quite on the black. But the pink should go here. And we've made a good start to this frame. Just, I think, what we need to do, and that's been evidenced by the stuff in real life that I've watched today, is just use the cushions a little bit more rather than relying on spin. Use the cushions and see how that gets you. But I think, really, after this, there's not going to be much position we get. So get this pink, and I think unless we get something very lucky, we might as well increase the power. Unless we get something very lucky, it's going to be end of break.
I'm pretty sure that's not the position he was intending.
Yeah, as I say there, it's not the position we intended. But we can, of course, play a safety here. No pot on, so it's not even a shot to nothing, but a very soft safety will be fine. That's a good start to this match. Unless, oh, it does hit the red on the way through. But luckily, because we're in a similar position to where we were before, there's no position for Wan to take a pot on. Another safety shot for Wan. Again, this is the second episode I've played now with the new patch, and it seems the safety player, the AI is much improved. Just down the table, trickle of fin on the red. Where's the cue ball? Where's the cue ball? Should just be fine, just going to hit the cushion at the top, but that is pretty much perfect. Now, the red's a little bit separated there, a little bit out of formation, but once again, unless you find something that I can't, there's no position. There might be on the bottom red, potentially, that's by the black, but he's got to be very brave to go for that, and it's just another safety from Wan there. Again, no real position. I suppose we could play a shot to nothing on this red. A little bit harder, of course, making a bit more contact with the red. And again, it's just out. That could be a risk. Ooh, well, very nearly in the middle pocket, and taking that risk, I don't think gives him any position, so we're in luck there. Oh, it does on that red. Completely missed that one, but he's missed it. Well, not a good start for Wan at all, and we're well positioned on this red now. And really, we played the bad shot, not him. It should be him who's benefiting from this, but clearly not. And we're just going to try and hit this nice and soft. Hit those two reds maybe as a little bit of a buffer, and then get nicely on the black. Not the best pot ever, not quite middle of the pocket, but still fine. And now it's just time to try and hit the black. Maybe get a little bit of screw back on this. It's a tricky pot, so maybe not too hard. Just to alleviate the risk of us not middling it, but actually it was pretty perfect, so fair play. But that backspin hasn't really worked to our advantage much. Again, there's a pot on here potentially.
He's taking it on. No.
Oh, no, just missed. Maybe a little bit too hard.
But a miss nonetheless.
And I think Wan might get the chance to get his first pot of the round.
Robertson.
Although there's nothing conclusive that's on here. Although if he cuts this red into the pocket, that'll be his first frame of the round. First frame? Whoa, easy, Tiger. His first pot of the round. Apologies about that. I was just muting my iPad just so you don't get any notifications. But no, two reds and a black to start him off. So he's doing well here, but he's missed the black. And his potting's been very inconsistent. Although his position wasn't great anyway, if he'd have got that black. No, there's not really much on here, unfortunately, for us. So he's a bit lucky because of that. Just bearing in mind, we could have a really fine cut on one of these, but there's going to be a safety shot up the table, I think.
He's looking to play safe here.
That's not too bad. He took to bulk at the end of the day, so not too bad at all. It does leave that red hanging a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's not the easiest pot in the world, and we're still in command in this frame, although we can't make big breaks yet, and we've got to use our abilities to what we know we can do. For example, I've just said we can't make the biggest breaks in the world. Very peculiar shot from him there, because it does leave that blue very much on. But at the end of the day, we've got to know our limits. I'm well aware that we can't make glamorous breaks, we can't make 50-60 breaks, so therefore we're going to have to... Oh, dear. Wow. I thought that was nailed on, hence why I hit it a little bit harder. But it's just gone off both jaws and just bounced out the pocket. Well, that's disappointing. Because that now does give Wan a chance. Although, to be fair, our position was terrible. I'm not sure what he's done there either. Very peculiar. But what I was going to say is, we know our limits, we know what we can't do quite yet, so we'll try and use those to our advantage, try and hit it soft, maybe get a few pots, but then improve our safety play so that he can't get in with a chance.
Excellent pot. Superb.
Position not great there, unless the pink will go. We'll soon find out. Yeah, it will, but again, this is a tricky pot, so it might not go.
He's going for the right centre pocket here.
Pretty much middled it, though. And we've got good position on a red. Funnily enough, Wan playing those three reds up to bulk, and that saved us a little bit here. Screw back a bit now.
This looks pretty simple.
Not going to get anything up the top of the table, so we might as well screw back. Now, I don't think the pink's on here, even though it does look like a nice pot. Because I do think that red's going to interrupt. But I might be wrong. Let's have a look. No, it doesn't, as you can see. So it's over the blue, which doesn't look too bad, to be fair. I think we will take this blue. Get a little bit of screw on, not entirely, but a little bit. There we go, it's a good blue.
And in it goes.
And we might as well go for it, unless this one goes. It does, but I fancy one of the reds up bulk again. Ideally, get rid of those while we can. Not the really best shots to be up there. Does limit safety play a little bit. That's a good pot. And that does open up the blue or the yellow, so good stuff.
14.
Now, a little bit tricky, the blue. But if we can pot it, it gives us very good position.
Well, he's taking it on.
It's a tricky one. I don't particularly like these, but sometimes they come off, sometimes they don't. But on that occasion, it did. And now we've got position on the red. This break's been pretty good, actually. And I think we've probably played one of the best frames we've played so far in Snooker 19. And just weird that by watching a bit of real-life snooker gives you a little bit of, I suppose, new ideas.
He's aiming to sink this into the right corner.
Good pot. Could have took 2 maybe there, but doesn't matter. But I think it's only a matter of time. If we keep on the table, that is, anyway, till this frame is in our hands. Play with a little bit of top, as it says there, but just move it a little bit to the right, just in case that aim and aid's not quite right. But once again, we middled it. Leaves a little bit of a tricky pot here, but it just requires a fine cut
24.
On this one near the cushion. This one here. As I say, it just requires a bit of a fine cut, and hopefully that's something we can do. But of course, this does limit position a little bit with how soft we have to hit it, just to make sure it goes in.
Brilliant.
And there we go, it's a good pot.
Excellent position.
And unfortunately, because of the way the red's made contact there, it does limit the amount of position we've got. Now that pink might go into the middle. Yeah.
Playing for the middle.
Worth a go, isn't it? End of the day, we're quite a way ahead. He could win this in one visit if we don't pop the pink. But we have, so that doesn't matter.
Not what he intended.
Again, position sacrifice a little bit here, but it will be a long pot into the top of the table, I would say, on the bulk. If we can get it, that is, and we're not playing badly here. Again, nice and soft, sacrificing position a little bit, but
He's playing the pot here.
giving a bigger chance of getting the pot. And that's in.
What a shot he's pulled out the bag there.
We're really starting well here. Could take the black, but that would just be a bit greedy, so
Excellent
it might be a case of blue down the table. Which obviously gives us a little bit of better position anyway.
Well, I'm not surprised he's taking on the long pot here.
And that's dropped. As I said, gives us better position. And we could be onto a 50 break already, if we can play our cards right. Need to make this a little bit harder, because position on the pink is precarious.
This red required.
Although it will be positioned, but it just wants to make sure that we get the red first off.
That should be it.
It's going to hit the yellow, just slow it down a bit, and that'll give us a nice position on the brown.
38.
Would be fine on the red as well from this position, which is nice. Just use the cushion, and hopefully we'll be on a red, but it's a little bit in God's luck now. Hopefully it goes past the blue. Possibly the worst position possible. I mean, we can pop this red. Makes things a little bit tricky, mind. Just going to hope we're in the luck of the gods, but in terms of the frame, that's over. Just want to try and make a break. Now, this could be lucky. No, it hasn't dropped. Unfortunate. But a good start to this match. Again, there's only 2 reds on the table, so I think he will probably concede. And there we go. I think it only took us 2 visits there, so again, probably actually 3 or 4. But a good break, and we're coming a little bit close to winning frames in one visit, but I'm sure that one won't make this one as easy.
Great opportunity to really turn the screw on his opponent.
Certainly not, because he did make a few mistakes last time, which did let us in, but you know, I'm not saying that we didn't play well, but Wan Yusun made our job a little bit harder. I said Yusun, didn't I? Sijun, I think it is. Wan Sijun. I might be wrong, apologies about that, as I said earlier, but not a bad safety shot there. You could say he got a little bit lucky with the run of the red, but no, a good safety shot.
Not an easy one, but a half chance.
Not really bothered about the pot. I know that the commentator David Hendon was hinting at that, but honestly I'm not bothered, and that's got very lucky not to go in the pocket. But if it doesn't go in the pocket, then balls actually when you're pretty close. It's in a very good position because it's very terrific. Oh, what the hell's happened there? Very weird. Very difficult to cue off those, but he's done that there. Very peculiar with the colours all changing. That wasn't just my TV screen. Just check the Elgato display, and it was on there as well. So apologies about that. But he's made a good start here. Although position on the black, he'll be impressed if he gets this pot.
He lost position here.
9.
It's a tight one, but he's got it. It's a fair play to him. Well, we might have to sit down a bit here and watch Wan Sijun even, win this frame.
Decent position to take on a colour here.
But to be honest, he's going to be fired off after he made mistakes last time, playing a bit of right-hand side there. After making mistakes last time, although that shot on the black, the position's not great, but he could go for the long pot here. Is he going to get it? So it looks good to me. And it has dropped. And, of course, no need for me to mention that he is on a 147. I very much doubt he's going to get it. But his positional play isn't that bad, actually. He's playing well, and his potting is quite accurate this time round. But unless he does take the black, No, he's not going to go for the black. He can still get a 1-4-6, of course, if he pots this, which he has done.
39.
Long pot on a red now, but it is pretty
Half
straight,
chance,
so I
but
think he should be
chance
okay.
nonetheless.
Yeah, good start. And this could be a win in one visit for Wan Sijun. Finally got his name right for one time. But it's all about margins, and ooh, Wan getting in such a good position there, but unfortunately, it's come to naught. So now, let's see if we can punish him. I mean, unfortunately for us, there's nothing great, so it's going to have to be a Going to have to be very soft here.
No gimme.
And if we can get this, I'll be pretty impressed. No, it's there. Good shot. Position not fantastic. Basically in the middle of the table, which is not what you want. You want some sort of angle. But the yellow, probably the best shot here. Providing we pot it, of course.
He's going for the left.
Any shot looks good on the outset, but not until you pot it. And that's dropped. Good stuff.
Lost the cue ball attempt
Although, unfortunately, that collision with that red has made things, well,
3.
I had to use the term, but pretty much nigh on impossible. Now, if I was ahead in a frame like I was in the last one, I might fancy playing the double on that red, but not this time.
You have to be careful with the pace of this shot.
You know, it's clear that Wan's got the upper hand in this frame, so don't want to help him out on that front anymore. But I think we've played our best snooker so far in this career mode, so I'm happy about that.
The key with this shot.
But Wan a long way ahead here, and continues to play well. And unfortunately, there's not really much on here. Another safety required. Of course, there's still plenty of points left in this frame, so not really a problem in terms of that. But it's always the case of, you know, just being a little bit worried about, well, he has got a good break and we need to kind of reply to that. But as I said, at present, still over sort of, you know, 60, 70 points at least available on the table. Bear in mind, he took high colours, so there's still plenty available on the table. As you can see, 91 remaining. So unless he gets another decent break, it's not all over yet. But we're just having a bit of a safety battle. But unfortunately for him, it's come to a little bit of naught because he's played a little bit of a poor shot there. But equally, we've got to play an equally good shot here to pot this red. And it's there. We've moved a lot of the reds. Now, do we go for the black here?
1.
We might as well. Not the easiest pot in the world, but we might as well go for the black because that'll give us good position. No, not quite there.
Fuming about that.
That's a shame. Just overcautious there towards the pocket, but
Robertson.
it was nearly there. It wasn't too far off. But as I said earlier, Wan's still needing plenty of points. So he's taken on this black and he's potted it.
8.
And if he pots a few more reds, the frame will be over. But he started well. Certainly has. That's a little bit of vengeance for that for that first frame. But he's missed that one, which is disappointing for him. Now we're going to try this red. Of course, he's definitely got the upper hand, so requires another big break from us here. But a good shot. Where's the cue ball? No, it's fine. But we can't really take on one of the big colours. The blue's probably the best one to take on in terms of points. Of course, the pink and the black pretty much out of commission, but we might as well take on this brown. And that's there. So the best option looks like this red that's up near the green in bulk.
5.
But I think we're still in with a chance. There's 4 reds available on the table, so about 50 odd available here. So we just need to make sure from now on we're taking the highest colour available. But it's not all over yet when it comes to this frame. If this goes nicely for us, there could be a little bit of position, but not really. It's going to be a tricky pot on a blue to stay in this. And to be fair, given the circumstances, we might as well go for a tricky pot like the blue. Just all guesswork there. I don't think it's there, and as you can see, it's quite a way off. But luckily, if it stays on the cushion, there's not really any brilliant position here because of the black that affects the blue, the red. The blue, what am I on about? The black that affects the red. Yeah, there we go. That's highlighted that. But unfortunately for us, he's played quite a decent in effect in the end there, a safety shot. But we're going to have to need quite a bit of cue power here so it doesn't go into the opposite pocket.
This really is tricky.
But we might as well go for something adventurous. There we go, it's in there. Go on, split the reds. Good stuff. Unfortunately, not quite on the black, really.
1.
But we might as well go for it all the same. You know, there's no point being cautious now. And it's there. Hopefully just get good position now. No. Oh, about to say phew. Blue doesn't go into the red. That could have been a disaster.
8.
This will be an easy red. Certainly the easiest of the frame. But we're not really on much here. Certainly not the black or the pink. Well, not on anything, I'll be honest. I mean, black requires a very fine cut there. Pink might possibly go. Again, it's all about a bit of luck here.
Makes it a little trickier.
Go on, it's close, but it's not quite there. But this requires a good shot from Wan. I keep calling him Yan. From Wan to pot this red and effectively seal the frame. Of course, he has, in effect, sealed the frame. Oh, well, I said he had, but he's gone in off. So that gives us more of a chance. We're going to continue from this position. There's no point letting him play on and having the chance of potting the red. We're going to put this as far across as we can, just so we've got a better position on this red. But it's a tight one. But it might just be a bit of luck that Wan's potted that, so that we're in with a chance. And that clearly shows. Pink will go.
1.
So what are we, 32 behind? We get this pink. That of course puts 6 more, and then we just have to clean up the colours. Sounds very easy, doesn't it? And the first one, unfortunately, is that yellow, that it looks a bit of a stinker from there.
7.
And my safety play is, to be honest, rubbish. So we might as well just go for this.
This is tough.
We're in with a slim chance, but the yellow hasn't dropped. So unless we're a little bit lucky in the way that he hasn't really got much position, which it looks like he has, even though the saving grace is right at the top of the table. So he could make a mistake, but that yellow looks in pretty decent position for him. And if he pots the yellow now, he will win the frame. But he's a little bit off there. But unfortunately for us, again, not giving us the easiest position to queue with.
Taking this yellow on.
Might as well go soft on this. And it's there.
That could have finished a little better.
Now for the green, which is a very tricky shot from here.
2.
Might have a better chance of putting it into the middle, to be honest. Maybe could go into the corner, actually. Play with some top. I want to make sure that we can hit this a little bit harder, but doesn't go into the middle pocket. That would be a disaster, wouldn't it?
He's taking this green on.
A little bit towards the left-hand side of the pocket, and that's still not there. But once again, fortunately, he's quite a way away from this green, and it's not one I'd like to queue up against. So
Robertson. 2.
we're hanging on by a thread here,
Green here.
and he just needs the one more ball, and he's very close to that green pot. Unfortunately for him, but I thought he'd potted the cue ball again. That would have been a cracker for us, but no, he
Well,
doesn't.
it
So
goes.
this
Half a
green,
chance.
move it a little bit to the left. Go on, that looks very good in the heart of the pocket. But we're not really getting positionally too well here. I mean, this isn't too bad on the brown, actually. The problem will be the blue on that cushion and the pink. Black should be fine. It's all about position, but, you know, I can imagine we can queue up fine behind the black. The blue will be the biggest problem, I think. We've got to pop this brown, though, first, and that is very nearly there, but it's not. Ooh, unfortunate. I think we gave it our best there, but he will pop this brown, I'm fairly sure now.
Brown required here.
As you see, the brown needed for him to win the frame.
In it goes.
And he's got the brown, so unless he makes any more mistakes, any more fouls, then Wan Si-jun has won the frame.
4. 9.
But I think we fought well there. You know, we fought till the last, really. And we might as well take these 2 pots on, unless he's snookered us. And I think he has, pretty much. So we might as well just give this pink a whack. You know, never know, give it a whirl and see where it ends up.
Overhit this.
I mean, interesting there. Cue ball travelled a lot more, but I'm not surprised. And I mean, you know, there's 2 shots to go, so we might as well let him make a mistake. You know, at the end of the day, he's 30 ahead with 13 remaining, and now 36 ahead, so there's no question he'll win this frame now. And a good win from Wan Si-jun there, and he makes it 1 each.
That is the frame.
But 2 good frames, you know. I don't think that we've been
Advantage at the moment.
lucky, or, you know, unlucky if you like, in the second. Because we fought well, but we were really in a losing battle.
There's an immediate comeback.
But I think what needs to happen in this game, and this is proving it, we need to get to the table, stay there as long as we can,
Decision to break.
to avoid players like Wan taking the profits. But that is not the best break ever. It depends where the cue ball ends up, of course. That influences the break. And he's got away with that a little bit. But as I said, not the best break. But there's not really much in the way of a pot being offered here. I mean, this is a tricky one, isn't it? We'll go for it, though, nonetheless. We need to come back, and that's a cracking pot. But not quite there on the black, unfortunately. Yellow could go, but that's really our only chance. No, it doesn't go, but at least we can play a safety. Bit unfortunate there, because we weren't far away from being in good position for the black. Just that one red, which upset the apple cart a little bit. Very thin, though, on the yellow. And there's certainly a pot on here, but it's not the easiest.
One. He's taking this red on.
And he's missed it too hard.
Missed the pot.
And now the reds are really settled round, so we might as well take advantage of this. Just keep it cool. Don't need to play anything too quick. Nice and soft, and hopefully get good position. Could come to ruin that, and we want to make Wan suffer at the end of the day. You know, we want to make it clear that if you make a mistake, we're in, and that really puts the pressure on players, including Wan just queuing off the cushion there. And that's a good pot. Now, what's position looking like?
5.
To be fair, middle pocket looks best to me, unless there's one of these which goes straight in. I mean, that one probably is the best, actually. But, no, that one's fine, actually. So, yeah, here we go then. Nice and hard into this pocket. Well, we're playing with as much top as possible, of course, because we are queuing off the cushion. But this isn't the easiest shot in the world. And that could have gone wrong, but it didn't. Now, keep travelling, keep travelling. Now you can stop. Doesn't look bad at late on the pink. Just going to close the window. Oh, it's a boiling day today. It's really hot. But we're pretty much straight on this pink, which is ideal. Now, we don't need it too hard at the end of the day. We're not
Taking the pot on.
screwing back massively. And that's a good pot.
Fabulous pot.
So what have we got on now?
Cue ball control there.
Red by the black, possibly?
12.
Yeah. And then hopefully we can get a bit of screw back on this and queue up for the black. But it might not work like that, you never know. No, hit the black a little bit too much there, so that's the black out of commission. The pink doesn't look too bad, actually. This could go. It's a tight pot, so we might look if there's anything better. And I'm going to go for the yellow here, just because Wan did prove that he is very good on this sort of table. At the end of the day, he did very well in that second frame, so I don't want to risk missing the pink. You know, it might have gone, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. You know, if we'd have played it and missed it, then, as I said, hindsight would be beautiful then, but not before we played it. But a good red there.
That's a beauty.
And just to alleviate the risk a little bit more, we'll play the green. I know we want to play exciting snooker,
Potting this.
but we're not ahead, so there's no real point playing all that fancy pants snooker.
He seems full of confidence at the moment.
You know, it was alright for a few frames up, but not yet. And that's cracking on this red. Well, it would have been cracking, actually, but it's just a little bit off. But we've got plenty of good position on something else, so that's fine. And we'll get a little bit of screw on here.
No real problem here.
Not the biggest break in the world, but honestly on this game where it's very tricky to get breaks, even a 20 break feels like an achievement.
20.
A little bit nicer on this pink now. Are we going to pot this? We are right in the heart of the pocket. Right, now.
20.
What are we on? Nothing straight here. Certainly nothing straightforward. But this red into the middle looks the best opportunity. There's this red, of course, into the bottom pocket, but I fancy this red into the middle, so that's what we're going to play here. Do we actually? I might put this one into the bottom. I'm really not sure. No, I think I'll go with my gut, what I said first, and try and get a bit of screw back on this. Now, how's this looking?
Left centre here.
Tricky pots these are. You've got to get them exactly right with the middle, but that's bang on.
No
So
issues there.
my gut's serving me well. Now it's a decent position now on this black, but to be honest, I'm not going to take it. You might say... Now, I wouldn't have took it if there was something better on the table. However, this back's probably the best on the table, so no need to play any side spin or anything here. Just nice and soft and just hope we're in the luck of the gods. And on that occasion, we are.
34.
Well, that's a motorbike you can hear outside. Be very poor in the theatre for this to happen. They'd be like, hang on, someone's forgot to turn their motorbike off outside. But, ran out of position a little bit now, haven't we? It's going to require a good pot on this red to stay in, unless there's anything better. I mean, there's that one. Unless we go for this one into the middle, which has got as much chance as the one we were playing before. So, we might as well. Go on, son. There we go.
What a
Cracker.
shot that is.
Well, he couldn't have played that any better. Superb
Thank you very much.
shot.
They're very complimentary today, these commentators. So, let's pop the yellow. We might as well. Again, as I said, it keeps us on the table. And we're in half decent position once again.
37.
Or are we? Looked better, didn't it, when we were there? This one won't go into the... It might do, actually. No, it's not going to, is it? No, that's fairly clear. Take a moment to think. You know, there's plenty of time. There's no time limit here, of course. Do we take this one on the cushion?
This is a tricky one along
I think
the
we
cushion.
will. Could be end of break, but luckily it's not.
38.
And what much better position could you have? We're on a black. A few more balls and we can get that 50 break, but let's not talk about that yet because that just increased the pressure on us.
45.
But this looks good, doesn't it? Not too hard, just hard enough. We potted that, but ooh, what's position like? Rubbish, I think. Possibly the yellow.
46.
That doesn't give us a 50 break. No, I'm not too bothered about that. Just want to stay on the table.
Half a chance here.
There's certainly a chance, but it's not the easiest. Good
Wonderful
pot.
shot.
And luckily, because that green... Well, unless that green goes into the pocket... Stop. Good. We're actually in half decent position with this red. Very lucky. It would have run a lot further in that case. Now, we're going to try and just keep the ball there because we might as well pop this green. We made that good position. Now, will the red go? This gives us a 50 break if it goes in. Or does it actually? I think that might be 49. I'm not sure.
Great cueing.
No, 49. So we've got to pop this green to get a break of 50. Unless there's a black on the table, which we could go for, or this pink, actually. I'm just thinking about position. You know, this 50 break could be cracking, but we've got to get good position equally. Good pot. And that, ladies and gents, is what we wanted. It was a break of 50 we needed, and we got it.
55.
But now we've got that break, we've got absolutely no position. There you go, that's the achievement. So we're just going to try this into the top pocket. We've pretty much got this frame. Go on, that looks half decent. Oh yes, what a pot.
That could be better.
What a pot. Now, sometimes I just think you're in luck. And we really are today. But we're not, ooh, we're not on that green. But I think to be fair, I think our luck ran out, which is absolutely fair enough. Unless we are on the green, if we really be careful. How tight do you want to get to that yellow? No, I don't think we are on this green, are we?
He'll be playing safe from here.
You know what? I think we are. Very glad we reviewed that. Just tap the green and it's in.
Who would have predicted that?
Whew.
Truly remarkable
Well.
shot.
Cracking. And we're on a red into the middle, I'd say. Right, 59 break now. That's now 60.
Pot. Brilliant.
And we're well on the pink.
60.
This is a cracking break. Obviously our best of the game so far. I think I've highlighted that about 68 times. But another pot there on the pink. And we're well on the red. This is in dreamland for us. We're playing really well. Right. Okay. A little bit of screw. We go a little bit harder.
This should be pretty straightforward.
67.
67 is the break then. Right. Didn't really go as well as I planned that.
Not an easy one, but a half chance.
Let's try the pink.
3.
And I got interrupted there, but it was there, that pink. Right. Now can we take the... Hang on. How come there's only one red left and apparently we've only potted 13? Did he foul at the start? I don't... Weird one. Might be a glitch, but I don't remember him potting any of those reds. Now we've cut... Oh, what an idiot. Of course, we potted that one red and played safe then, didn't we? That's why there's...
Tough shot coming up.
This is only saying 13 reds. And there we go, the red's there. So we're on to the colours now. Whew, breathe.
74.
Frame sorted. This is a brilliant break. Right. I'm just going to close the window. Probably hear all the family yapping outside, so apologies about that. I mean, I'm a boring
This one up to the
so-and-so and I'm playing snooker, but with these sort of breaks, can you blame me?
That's
It's going to run out at some point, honestly, this is. And don't worry, there's not someone... I haven't got Neil Robertson here beside me playing this. He's not with me. Right, we need to get it quite hard to get it down the table for the green. I'm going for this now. At
colours now,
the end of the day, we've won this frame, so we might as well just go for it here.
but it won't matter.
Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Not the best on the green. But it was alright. I mean, we made a valiant attempt at it, so... Let's go for the green, eh?
Not an easy one, but a half chance.
Again, if it doesn't go, is it a real problem? It's by far our best break yet. And no, the green's absolutely nowhere near.
Irrelevant in this
But we've won the frame there. Effectively in 2 visits. Well, it was in 2 visits, wasn't it?
Neil
Effectively.
Robertson, 81. Frame
But
considered.
that's the frame.
Neil Robertson.
Fantastic.
Well played to take that frame.
By far my best frame on Snooker 19 so far.
So, he's nudged in front.
Now the pressure's off a bit.
Thank you. The fourth frame.
Now the first frame was quite close. The second frame, Wan dominated. And in the third frame, we dominated. It's still a very open game. But, of course, don't need to tell you, if we win this frame, we go to the third round, the last 32 of the competition. Very exciting, eh?
Half chance.
But Wan could do this. He's got the first red, and he's on the black, so this could be a Wan-dominated frame, funnily enough. Again, the frames have been won when the opposite player has broke off, which might tell you something, folks, about the quality of our breaks. But luckily, if that stats to continue, he's going to break 3 times, so we're going to get a bit lucky, perhaps, with that.
He looks like he's trying to get the cue ball tight on the cushion here.
Cue ball should be fine. Yeah, just tap in there. Well, oof, well. Tricky cueing off the jaws here, but it seems he was fine with it last time. He got a pot, of course, but not this time. Now, tight pot here. Very tricky being close to the cushion playing this, but we might as well play it.
Well,
And ooh, well, I was about to say, and it's there, but the contact we made with the object ball there just wasn't quite right. And it's 1 on the table again, but again, very peculiar shot that was. Shall we try a second time round to pot that? Or maybe try and get a plant on here, if we can.
This is a tricky safety.
It's not a safety, you buffoon. Tuh. Oh dear. Well, I was a bit fearful about using that plant, but as it worked, absolutely not. And to be honest, neither of us seem to pot anything here, or be able to at least. So we're going to try the opposite pocket.
not an easy one, but a half chance.
And that doesn't work either. Goodness me. Well, there's a lot of balls out on the left-hand side, but... well, the left-hand side as we look at it, but... there is a red up bulk, which I'm sure he'll take, and he does.
1.
But these reds, can't quite believe that. There's nearly a gaggle of them all by that one pocket, but he's a little bit close. That means he can refine his shot and maybe pop one of these. But that's a cracking shot. Wouldn't have spotted that. And now he's on the black again. Good pot. Ooh, just about dropped. And he's spotted that red. Again, shouldn't really fast forward these shots. Apologies. I mean, I will once he's potted it, because there's not really much to watch, but before he's potted it, I won't fast forward it now. Because it could be a Wan Si-jun frame, and this will go down to a decider, like the last one. But of course, it's not over yet until Wan pots the balls.
16.
That's another black. Not in the best position now, but there's still a pot that couldn't be made. It's going to be a long one if he gets it. And that's there. Good pot.
What about that for a positional shot?
But I don't think, based off the evidence, either player deserves to lose this game. And it would be exciting if it went down to a decider. Of course, we'd love to be on the right side of that. But if we went out to Wan Si-jun today, I wouldn't be gutted about that. I shouldn't really be saying this because we are still ahead, of course. But I think he's played really well. Both players have played well. That's what I mean. That's so harsh that one player has to go out. But the breaks that both players have made has been brilliant. And again, another good red. And it looks like he's going to win this frame quite easily here. We've just got to repeat our heroics, which I honestly don't think we can in the next frame. Of course, he's still a few balls away from winning this, so it's not all over yet.
Looks very good here. He's played that very well.
Good pot on the blue. And it's only really, I think, 2 reds needed now at most. Depends what colours he goes for. I think certainly if he gets this next red, that definitely confirms the frame. But it's going to be a long pot to secure it. And it's there. Absolutely fantastic. I think it's the game of big breaks today. And I've talked about on earlier episodes, and I think even today, you know, we know our limitations. We know we can't make big breaks, but it seems in this one, in this episode, that's all it's been.
It doesn't really matter.
Well, he's missed that shot. We're 55, well, we need 71, of course. And there's 59 remaining on the table, so we might as well just play 1 or 2 shots as a bit of practice. Going to be a big frame, this decider, but we're just going to... In fact, we'll just play a double on this... no, let's just concede the frame. Scrap that.
Frame, Wan Si-jun.
We'll only make a fool of ourselves, and now it's 2 each, and there's 1 last frame to go.
Just a single frame to win the match.
As I said earlier, whoever goes out of this at this point would be really unlucky, because both players have played really well.
Thank you, the 5th frame.
Going to try my best here to win this frame, of course. And I'd love to get to the last 32, but this has been the best game I've played by far on Snooker 19 so far, but not a good break, really not a good break from Wan. But of course, we're just going to play with the same mentality we did in the second winning frame we had, and just take our time. That's that motorbike outside again, if you can hear it.
Quality opening red.
Oh, come on, come on. That's lovely on the black.
1.
How much straighter do you want to be? Fantastic. Maybe not so hard. Right. Have we got any position now? These reds are all very tightly packed, but we might be able to see one. I mean, this one... Oh, no. So there's this one, which, to be fair, is probably our best chance. No, it's not, actually. It won't go. So it's going to have to be a tight one on this one. I suppose we could open up the pack here if we were going to be greedy, which is something I think we probably will do. Right. It's a tricky one. But it's in. Not really broke up the pack much there. And unfortunately, that pink that looks like a cracking pot in normal play is not going to be there. There's either the blue or the green. And to be honest, the green, again, we played a few limiting shots in our second frame win. But as long as we stay on the table, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't give him a look in. And there's a nice position on a red I can see. One that's a little bit further out of the pack. I'm sure you guys have noticed it as well. And this is a brilliant match. You know, I'm really proud. We finally got to a good standard here, I would say. Certainly not like the 20 breaks in the first few matches.
13.
But as I said, still a long way to go in this match and in the career mode itself. We might as well just let this ball run just to see what position we can get. But the pink's there. Of course, we've got position on that middle pocket if nothing else goes. And it looks like that will be the one we go for. Because there isn't really anything else. No, of course this red will go, won't it? But I think we might as well just have this one there. No, I suppose that
This looks relatively easy.
one in the middle provides safety if we really need it. But we'll find if we've made the right decision. And we've potted it. And the brown could be on here. It just depends if it's touching the yellow.
20.
It would certainly be the easiest pot out of them all. That pink doesn't look half bad though, does it? But this isn't the easiest pot in the world. And if we don't pot this now, which we are going to go for, I'm going to go with my gut here. It's there. But if we hadn't have potted that, that could have been the end of our game.
26.
Now, this looks good. Get some screw back on this. Not so hard. Again, we want every chance of it going into the pocket. Cracker. And nicely on the black.
27.
Whew. This is pressure. Good pot. Right, now what are we on? There's certainly a red we are on. Certainly if this cue ball pulls up, and it does. Now we are going to... no, we're going to play with some top here and just try and manoeuvre this cue ball.
Decent position.
Luckily we
to
have
take
the
colour here.
red there to stop it, because that's cracking position on a blue, but the pink might go as well here, so that's probably the best idea. Again, this is all about winning the frame, so the biggest breaks we make, the better. Now, not so much screw back and not so hard. In fact, we need the amount of screw back, just not so hard, because I don't want it bouncing all the way up the table. But that's a good pot.
Oh,
Now, what have we got in terms of position?
41.
We've got this red. Might as well review all the options. And then we haven't got this red, so really this red being the only option unless we play this fin into this pocket, which actually might be an idea. And again, I'm going with my gut here. And that's there. Nice and soft and on the green.
42.
I mean, you could say arguably that, well, we might as well look to split the brown and the yellow, but is that really our prerogative? Is that our priority? No, because we might not need the brown and the yellow at all in this frame. Props a little bit hard now on that, but we'll soon know. If this pulls up, we've got position fine.
45.
But of course, if we get an appropriate score, then we don't need the brown and the yellow at all.
This should be straightforward enough.
And that's in. And now we've got, I think, I don't think we have actually. No, not on the black, but the pink will go. I'll just check this black, just query it. No, it's not worth it, is it? Really not worth it. Got a little bit of luck here, to be honest, to both get the pot and the position now.
Right middle.
The pot's there, what about position?
That's a top shot.
No, it's there. Brill.
Wonderful pot. Outstanding effort.
52.
And we are doing really well in the world of building up breaks. I don't know if this is just a good day for me, but my break building's usually not the best. But a good red there. That red by the side was meaning black is the only option. Unless we had a very tight pink or a tricky green. So black by far the best option. And with this black and two more reds, we go through to the next round. And the black's there. Now, another red's on here. We're finally starting to play a little bit like Neil Robertson. Good pot on the red. Now,
61.
by my calculations, another colour, and that should be pretty much curtains. We'll know in the Satan commentary. We'll go for this green just to be safe, rather be safe than sorry. But amazingly, both of these games that we've played in the Pool Hunter Classic have gone down to deciders. The first one probably down to how bad we played, but this second one definitely down to the
64.
good play of both players. No question about that.
This is a critical shot here.
Maybe a little bit too much screw there. But the crowd like that, that might mean we've won the frame.
In this match.
65.
I think we have. I think we'll take the green again here. But even if we don't pot this green, it's going to need a big comeback from Wan. No, we haven't potted the green.
Missed it, but it doesn't really matter.
I think the commentators just said it doesn't really matter. So there's 4 reds left on the tab. So what's that? 8. 59 remaining. So he can get back into this with a phenomenal break and a snooker, but he's missed that red. And we might as well just try and pot 1 or 2 more reds just to make it secure, rather than playing silly safety shots. Because if we pot a few more balls, then you know it makes it a formality that we win this, rather than worrying about, well, he needs a certain amount of snookers and he could win it. It's all about making that final result a formality. Formality? A formality, rather than something that could happen.
So, this
But just proved how well both players have played today. We played 5 frames in that match against Lily, and it was over an hour and 20. Whereas we played 5 frames here in just over even 50 minutes. So,
playing for the right corner here.
if you want to get the maths out, that's 5 minutes less per frame. That's a cracking red, that is.
That's ended up a little awkward, but it won't matter.
Can we make our first, not a century of course, but can we make our first 100 score? Be brilliant if we could clear all the balls up. That would give me another nice achievement. Of course, not the reason we do it, God no. But if we can clear all the balls on the table, that'd be a nice achievement. But ooh, this black might be in the way, might not be. I think we're just about okay, luckily. But we might as well play on. You know, we've won this unless we make so many mistakes that it'd be ridiculous at this point. But this red on the cushion might be a problem, so
14.
we'll get the pink. You know, worry about the pot. And give this a good whack just so we can move the red potentially. No, it's not quite gone far enough, the cue ball. I mean, it would have moved the red, but we're right up behind it. Might as well just play. Is it touching ball? Let's have a look. So, of course, we'll have to play it away from it if we're touching ball. Probably better on the other cushion, isn't it, to look here? Oh, not really got any luck in here, unfortunately. Oh, I can't really see from that angle. So, can we see if this is touching ball or not? Very awkward angle this is to look at. Let's go from the other side. I mean, I can see all the reds in the pocket, that's fine. Oh, goodness me. Is it touching ball or not? I don't know. Yeah, I'd guess it is.
He'll want to get this cue ball close to the cushion.
Yeah, I think that, I'm guessing by that comment that it's fine.
Foul, but...
No, it's a foul. Well, I couldn't tell whether it was touching ball or not, but it won't matter. There's plenty of points to spare in this frame. 6 points for illegal contact, but he'll let us take it again. So it's obviously not touching ball.
Looking to play safe here.
This is just increasing the amount of time in the game. Unless it's another foul, because it is touching ball, but we can't hit anything else. No, that's fine. As you can see, 35 remaining, and we have won. Whew. The last 64 match against Wan Si-jun, and to be honest, apart from that first frame, there were 4 frames of cracking breaks by both players. Of course, 2 by Wan and 2 by us, and that final break of 40-odd, it might have even been 50-odd, won us the match. That is brilliant, but I really hope you enjoyed this one, folks. I understand it was probably a lot easier to watch, actually, than that last episode, just a little bit of a grueler. But we are through to the last 32 of the Paul Hunter Classic. Let's see who we've got now. And it's Mark King, ranked 26th. Prize money increases a little bit now, of course. We are down to the last 32 and round 3 of the competition. But Mark King, ranked 26th. You know, he's capable of clearing up a table, certainly. But it's round 3. Again, we're on a nice run now of winning 5 in a row. And that highest break's really increased now to 81. But, of course, if we win this match against Mark King, we go down to the last of 16. So the last 16, then, of course, the quarters, the semis, and the final. But I'd love to make it to the quarters. That would be really nice, just to get decently somewhere in this tournament. But if we went out to Mark King, you know, it wouldn't be too bad. But this is definitely, by far, our hardest game yet of the tournament. But I presume everybody else is still in the tournament. Of course, we can't tell because there's no round-robin tree. That's a little bit unfortunate. But Mark King, 26th in the rankings. No mug. You can see that by the players who are around him. But a good display there from Wan Sijun. You know, two frames really well played by him. But we also played really well there, and I think that's something to celebrate. But we've got Mark King, that'll be out tomorrow on the channel at 6 PM as usual, and hope it'll be another cracker. But thank you very much for watching, folks. I've been TIJ Gaming, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for that video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.